Hello everybody, welcome to Freaky Fast Broadcasting for tonight's ARCA Evolution coverage here at Charlotte Motor Speedway for their All-Star race. Going to be a great show. I am Brandon Colley. Zach Hall going to be just a little bit late tonight, joining me later in the booth, and then Robert Moyer on production running these beautiful cameras. Going to be an exciting race tonight, but first, quick rundown of our sponsors, a little bit abbreviated with the misplacement of Zach. I think he's getting a funnel cake or something like that. The line's a little bit long here at Charlotte, but we've got Or Nissan Central, primary sponsor here for the ARCA Evolution series. We've also got Sheffield Graphics, and we cannot forget the ButtKicker. So we want to thank our sponsors tonight. But man, I'm excited about this race here. Just about getting ready to go started. About 15 seconds. So quick start to tonight's race. Not quite sure what the qualifying results are going to be, as they did an alternate session for that, so we're going to find out when you guys find out. But $50 in iRacing credits up for grabs for the winner tonight. Got 60 laps and a competition caution at lap 25 that we're going to have to look out for here. And it looks like these guys are only going to have one extra set of tires in the pits. So tire strategy here going to be pretty big towards the end of the race. And of course, with the latest iRacing update, not quite sure what to see. We know the lanes have really opened up, but which lane's going to be the strongest is going to be the real question. But as we see, everybody taking the grid now.
That is correct, Brandon. All right. Well, welcome everybody. Like he said, Zach Hall will be in the booth here in a little bit. He's running behind, but all right, man. Well, this is going to be fun. Some Charlotte All-Star Racing here with Gentleman ARCA series. Hopefully, everybody enjoys the show out there tonight and the commentating. If you do, don't forget to hit that like and follow and share button. We do much appreciate it. But all right, Brandon. Let's see here. We got Chris. Looks like Chris and Anthony here are going to start on the pole. Well, front row is going to be Chris.
Yeah, we got Christopher Smurl in the 14. I guess he put down a pretty blazing lap in his qualifying session. And then Anthony Gaudio, last week's Dover winner, starting on the front row right alongside of him. So these guys looking to duke it out here. Really been, I think, two of the favorites for the ARCA Evolution series so far this season.
Yeah, I agree. These guys been very fast here. Both of them, Chris, Anthony, been very, very fast all season, as we've seen how these guys been running. And man, check out that good wrench. Sorry, I'm going off subject here. Normally, I don't call races, ladies and gentlemen. Normally, I have Zach Hall and Brandon Cawley up in the booth doing this stuff. So I'm going to ramble on and jump from one subject to another and get everybody lost, but that's what I do.
Well, I've been looking at that paint scheme of Anthony Gaudio for the last couple weeks. I've absolutely been in love with that gold Goodwrench card scheme. It's been a pleasure to watch that thing zoom around the track here and really come up with some good results as well, noticing that he was the winner for last week. So putting that thing in victory lane as well, just adding to the prestige.
That is correct. Yeah, nice and shiny vehicle there. But all right, well, looks like we got 22 vehicles that are going to start tonight's race here at the All-Star Race. So we'll see how this all plays out as we're going to get ready to go green here tonight. So let's have some fun, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to hit us out there on the chat, and Brandon Cawley can do some chatting on Facebook while I take care of YouTube. But all right, well, here we go. Green flag's about ready to fly, and green's out, Brandon.
Green flag in the air. Barney the flag guy waving away to start the All-Star race here at Charlotte. And, starting to get single file just a little bit, but we know you can definitely run side by side here at Charlotte. A lot of, really door-to-door racing going on at this wonderful track. But look at Chris Smurl already out to a pretty sizable lead, and they've only completed half a lap so far. And it looks like Anthony Gaudio under fire now from Stephen Carey for second place.
Yeah, Chris, he took off like a bottle rocket. He's gone. He said, "See you later, gentlemen. I'm off." But now getting that far out there, Brandon, like that, can he hold that out there like that? Tires are going to fall off maybe here?
Well, you push too hard, the tires are definitely going to fall off. But it's, with them getting their competition caution at lap 25, if you're going to be willing to take your set of tires at lap 25, there's no reason not to go out and turn qualifying laps right now, because you do not need to save that set of tires if you're willing to do that. And it looks like Chris Smurl wanting to put down those quick laps right now and stay up front, stay out of trouble.
Well, the problem I think about here, though, getting that far out there, like you said, you don't got to save your tires, but they only got one set of tires, so you make it to lap 25, do you put a new set on and use up your set already and then have to run out to 60 laps? Or do you keep that set in pit road and, you know what I mean, and then use it, your set of tires later? I mean, what kind of strategy would you play out there, Brandon?
Well, you'd have to think about what their fuel load's going to be. I know they run a reduced fuel load. Not exactly sure on what the number is, but you've got to imagine that's going to require them to make a green flag pit stop, or at least one pit stop, maybe not under green, before the end of this race after the competition caution. I'd be taking it easy on these first 25 laps. You're not running for any kind of stage points here. Try to save those tires as much as you can. Avoid going a lap down, and try to save it for later on in the race when it's going to benefit you the most. That'd be the strategy I would go with here, and I believe that would probably be the winning strategy.
That's what I'm thinking. So yeah, I'm kind of worried that Chris got way out there like that, but maybe clean air is the way you want to go to. Get out there, and then you can get some. Oh, we got the 8 there in the Home Depot. Who's in the 8? James there. He was sideways there, Brandon.
Yeah, I know from experience, especially with these ARCA cars at Charlotte, you can get pretty loose. It's a pretty smooth track. It's got a lot of grip, but especially at night here, you're able to go a little bit quicker into the corners and really put you on the edge of what the tire is capable of doing. Really easy to step out and get that thing a little bit loose, especially on entry to turn one. I've noticed seems to be the real trouble spot for handling.
That's what it's looking like so far. As we do got Zach up here. He's right now eating his funnel cake right now, sitting in the booth. How you doing, Zach Attack Hall?
Doing great, guys. Sorry about the hang up there, and good to be up here. Glad I didn't miss too many of these laps. Was just getting in as they were kicking the green flag off, but man, great start already to this all-star race with Smerol leading the way. But it looks like that high line, as this was one of the tracks that was updated with that surface. It's looking like the high line might be a very viable line here early in the going to hold off for that lead.
And I think, Zach, as the run goes on, they may just kind of start trending toward the middle, maybe back to the bottom, depending on exactly how they treat their tires. Maybe get a little bit tight, move down a little bit. But, we heard Robert talk about, question, dirty air, is that going to be a factor? Well, when you've got this many different options for lines, dirty air is not going to play that much of a factor. But if your car is only handling in the same line as the guy ahead of you there and you have to run behind him, it's definitely going to play a factor.
Yeah, I think getting that Sheffield Graphics pole award, it seems like, for Christian Rolla was going to be pretty valuable. Like you said, there's multiple lanes to use, but I feel like, I don't know, I did do a race here, so I do have a little bit of knowledge since they updated the track, and it just, the bottom is still very, very quick, but that top side, just very tough to make passes when you're trying to pass someone up there. It just gets such a big run down the back straightaway, and you can run so good through the corner there that it really becomes a viable line, and Smroll using it to the best of his ability, as it looks like the field has single filed out here in the first 9 laps. Remember that competition caution at lap 25.
Well, it makes me think, Zach, of Kansas. The way that Kansas used to be, where, rim riding around the whole track, incredibly difficult to pass and incredibly frustrating as well. Same as tracks like Bristol, where we just tend to run up against the wall, and you got a guy that may be just a little bit slower than you is got a caution on the track. Have to look and see where that's at.
Yeah, it looks like maybe the 23 of Kevin Dowd possibly involved in this first Or Nissan Central caution of our all-star race here tonight for the ARCA Evolution Series. Is heavy damage on the front of the 23 here in the opening stages of tonight's race. There are no fast repairs here at the Evolution Racing Leagues, so Kevin Dowd going to be in somewhat of a hole there with that damage, and he's going to have to try to get that fixed up here under this caution and possibly that competition caution.
Yeah, it's going to be a tall order and a rough night going forward here for that 23 machine. And I got to tell you, Zach, looking at that wreck, I got a feeling Kevin's going to be a little bit dizzy after that one. That was a spin cycle if I've ever seen one.
It definitely set up for a spin there, man. And when you get in that spin cycle, it's kind of, you really can't control it. It's kind of, you just got to let the car go where it goes and hope nobody hits you. But unfortunately, Dowd, they're taking that heavy hit on the front end and bringing out this caution here. Now, I don't think we're going to see nobody take tires here, Brandon. Only one set of tires left in that pit box for them for the rest of the night. That could possibly play out at that competition caution, but at the same time, with the 50% fuel load, can they make it from lap 25 on to the end?
Well, I am not sure what the exact fuel mileage is. It seems like it has been forever since I've done a race at Charlotte. So I don't have a rough estimate on what a full fuel load would be, let alone a 50% fuel load. But I think you don't even worry about taking fuel here. I would worry about just keeping your track position if that's what you really care about, and if you're trying to save your tires a little bit, just hang out at the back. I mean, you maybe could come in and top off, but if you're going to come in lap 25 anyway, there's not much point unless you just want to be in the back to try to stay out of everybody's way and save your tires a little bit. But as far as toward the end of the race, there's not much strategy to be played right now. I don't think that's on anybody's mind, and certainly not tires.
I think tires are going to be a big topic later on for sure. We'll see how that plays out here as we're still under caution for our first caution of the night. But I want to say shout out to all the people tuning in here tonight on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Thank you guys. It's always a pleasure here as we got the All-Star race here tonight for the ARCA Evolution Series. And don't forget, after this, we have the RSR Cup Series at Bristol for their All-Star race, which what kind of intensity are we going to see there, man? It's going to be fun to see. So make sure you don't miss that later. And shout out to David Edwards out there. He says, look at Zach. Better late than not at all. That's exactly right, David. Had to make it here tonight to make sure to be at these All-Star races. Very important event here tonight and a very prestigious event. You know, that $50 going to the winner in iRacing dollars. That's a pretty good purse there for iRacing, I would say, Brandon.
Oh yeah, it is. I mean, tracks not the cheapest thing. I mean, they're not super expensive, but you can get a handful of tracks and maybe a couple cars, even super late model, or some of those dirt modifieds, or even some of the road course stuff that iRacing has to offer for you. Can definitely pick up quite a bit of that for 50 bucks there, Zach.
Lots of content on iRacing.com for all you fans at home. Make sure you go check out iRacing at iRacing.com and check out the simulation. It's so much fun. It's just that's really the only way you can put it, and you get the experience stuff that you never thought you could. Never thought I'd have the ability to drive around my native Charlotte Motor Speedway here and get to experience actually what this track feels like as these drivers here tonight are on the virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway in the ARCA Evolution Series as they take on their All-Star race tonight, man. That early caution now shook things up. Who saved their stuff? This could help out those drivers. We're going to get ready to go back green flag racing here tonight at the All-Star race here at Charlotte Motor Speedway in 2021 here for the Evolution Racing Leagues. Pace car is in. Christopher Smerol on that front row, followed by Kel Seaman looking for the green flag. There it is, green flag in the air. Off and away, Chris Smerol, but what a start from the 17 and Kel Seaman. There is the front row. Looks like the 17 going to nose ahead, going down to 1, but side by side all the way back to that 12th position.
Well, for this restart here, I think Chris Smerol is going to have the preferred lane, but if Kale can get a really good run here, that outside lane has been pretty dominant so far. It seems like everybody gets single file and just starts rim riding it out. So it looks like they're getting pretty much single file now, at least back to about the 5th, 6th, 7th position, but now different lanes coming in. We see the 6 just making a crazy run coming out of turn 4 there to move up to the 4th position.
Richard Gonzalez there in that patriotic Bud machine there on the outside. Working that group, we also see Anthony Gaudio on the 3 as Smerol slides back to 3rd with the front 2 fighting now with Stephen Carey and Kel Seaman. It's heating up front with that early caution. It's kind of brought this pack together. And what kind of tire wear will you have?
Well, I think we're starting to see now that Chris is kind of burned up his stuff maybe a little bit and realized, all right, I need to back it down here because these guys have got a lot more pace on him now than they did at the start of this run. And I think this caution was really not what he wanted to see. You know, the idea for using your stuff up and getting that gap is to try to maintain it and make them use their stuff to catch you. But when you get a caution to reset everybody like this, it's kind of all for naught, and then you're just kind of hanging out there, hoping not to lose too many positions.
Yeah, and with the outside looking so dominant right now, I think track position is going to be the key to this race here tonight. If there's one key, it's going to be track position because it's just this outside line. When it's so good like this, the leader has a job of just really, working it, and you can't really get to his outside, so he kind of has advantage at all points unless he can really get the bottom working. We've yet to see someone do that yet, so we'll see if someone can figure that out here early in the going before we get that competition caution. I mean, if there's any time to search now for something out there on that bottom lane, I would say now is the time.
Absolutely, kind of that reset at lap 25. Get everybody kind of racked back up, get some fuel back in the cars here, maybe take your set of tires if you're thinking that's the strategy to go with. See if you can maybe figure out a braking point or lifting point or just something different that's going to be able to let you roll that bottom. And a lot of times, just being able to run a little bit lower, not even necessarily the bottom, but maybe finding something in the middle lane as we see the 81 of Jeff Carson. Ooh, caution.
Multiple car wreck back here in the pack. Trying to exactly see who was involved in all that incident there as looks like the 8 of James Wright, the 4 of Harold Rothery, and the 66 of Carl Thompson all three of those drivers coming to collisions up at the top lane of turn 3 and 4, bringing out the second caution of the night, brought to you by Nissan Central. And it's going to involve a few other guys. It's going to be the heavy damage for the 66, heavy damage for Harold R13, and also heavy damage for James Wright. So multiple drivers involved there. Oh, and the 77 Jake Shea comes in there, gets into the back, I believe, of the 24 of Buddy Pitts. So multiple drivers involved there, Brandon, and don't want to be getting heavy damage here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Absolutely not. You know, these ARCA Evolution series, you know, running these ARCA cars, they're a lot more forgiving. We talk about it all the time with their aerodynamics, but a lot of damage on the nose. You still have to worry about aerodynamics. There's a lot more mechanical grip to these cars, but you know, they're still round for a reason. And you beat them up too bad, and it's just going to act like a parachute. You can get it fixed, but you're still going to be a little bit slower. And on fresh tires, for sure, is where you're really going to suffer.
And I think right now, I mean, you know, with the competition caution being at 25, would you have thought of maybe hitting pit road here, knowing the caution is going to come out in a few laps if you could save something to get some track position? I mean, if you're one of the top guys, I don't think you consider that at all, of course. But if you're one of these guys outside the top 10, maybe you pull that strategy. You know, take your tires now, stay out when that caution comes out for the competition.
Well, I think getting word from race control as well, guys are questioning if they have to pit during the competition caution, and the word is that they do not. So I think if you are one of these guys toward the back, like you said, absolutely take that chance. Try a little bit of that undercut, but you've also got to remember that it's only going to be a couple laps before you're pitting again. Don't go out here and try to pass the whole field on those tires, because you're probably going to get passed back in short order.
Second caution of the evening here with a multi-car collision. See if anybody decides to pit here. Actually, the leader, Kel Seaman, looks like he made this. No, he's going to say, just kidding, guys, April Fools, as he pulls back down. But looks like Justin Malarkey, the 73, the first car to elect to do this. Then you will see the 8 of James Wright, the 98 of Brian Fine. Looks like the 77 of Jake Shea, but 24 of Buddy Pitts, and the 7 of Michael Haru. All drivers hitting pit road this time. See if they slap some Goodyear tires on those cars, because that competition caution is going to be pretty quickly after this green flag.
It's looking like it may just be a green-white checker to the competition caution here at lap 25. So nice little 2-lap shootout here before we get to that. But I'm surprised a lot more guys didn't elect to try to, you know, pull something else out here and, you know, try to get a little bit off sequence and see how it works out for them. I know I like to kind of think outside of the box for strategies, and this is an opportunity that I like to take advantage of. I don't know about yourself, Zach.
Yeah, I think this is a great time for drivers to take advantage of this. This is, you know, if you want track position, and like I said earlier, I think that's a very valuable key here with the way the racing line is. I think that is a superb call. Now, you can't go out here when this goes green flag and use those tires up, because if you shell shock those tires, you're going to be feeling it once they get up to temp again. And those drivers that have the fresher tires, they're going to have a little bit more grip. So you got to be careful here. Manage your stuff. Not try to get anything too much here. Just keep it clean, and you should be in a good position with track position coming down to the end of this race.
Now track position. On once the tires even out, that high line, even if you're you know, you've got about 20 lap older tires, you should be able to hold them off. But up until that point, those newer tires are still going to be able to run a little bit lower than you, a little bit better, so they can definitely still make the passes.
That's the advantage of the tires. They're going to be able to have more options, you know. We may not see the bottom lane be the preferred lane to pass, but if you have the new tires, that may have to be the preferred lane, because that driver in front of you taking the outside away. So you got to go where they're not, and we'll see if a driver can figure out how to manipulate this here, and see you can come out of here the leader after this stage caution too.
Looking at the Facebook chat, David Edwards saying anybody but the 14, anybody but the 14, anybody but the 14. Wanting to
He's
see,
got too much momentum.
14, man. He's piling on that momentum. But last week's winner, Anthony Gaudio, still hanging on there in 4th place. Also saying hello to Mike Martino, saying let's go 3 Steves and James Wright in tonight's race.
Exactly. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in here tonight. We're getting ready to go back green flag racing with the 17 Kel Seaman leading us back to green here as he's going to get in the restart zone side by side with the 83 Stephen Carey here. Looking for that green flag at any moment now. Green flag's in the air. 17 is on it, but the 83 Carey again, the outside lane being the better lane to start in so far. Getting rolling. Can Carey take the lead here since he's a nose ahead on the outside, or does Kelsey even fight back on the bottom here to clear him on the exit?
Well, it doesn't look like he's going to clear him. About pulled the same move that Chris Merle pulled on the previous restart, but not quite good enough. That outside lane getting a good run here. And I think now Kale's just going to have to try to hang on and maybe fill in a gap for second, but Anthony is not letting that gap form for him to file in.
Great racing up front here at the All-Star race at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Looks like Stephen Carey going to pull clear of the second place battle as he is strongly in the lead. But look at Anthony Gaudio coming into the picture. He is strong each and week in and week out. Here comes Christopher Schmerl. Here comes Richard Gonzalez. Look at that. The bottom lane really not the liking of Kel, and he's going to slide back, it looks like, possibly to that 5th position.
And what I'm seeing is it looks like a lot of guys, the car's maybe just a little bit too loose on the inside lane. Right up against the that white line for the apron there. Watching Kale through 1 and 2 last time by was really wiggling that car around. Just not quite happy being down there. You see some guys now running that middle lane, carrying quite a bit of speed. We'll have to see what that actually does to their tires. But this time, we'll be coming around to take our competition caution.
Yes, we will. Coming out of 4, it looks like Stephen Carey going to lead us to tonight's competition caution here at the All-Star race, as we'll be waiting on that yellow any moment now as they head through 1 and 2 still. But it's just showing you got to position yourself in that right lane to get the job done. As we're staying green, I'm not sure was the last caution our competition yellow, or is it gonna be coming out next time by?
I would have to go back and listen. I don't think anybody asked if that was going to be the competition yellow, but they may have decided to make that the competition yellow, being so close to the lap number that they had set. So this kind of opens up a strategy all on its own, especially if you decided to come down last time and take your tires. You're in a beautiful position right now.
Yeah, can you say the fuel, or do you make it where you can splash to the end? I mean, this is going to be interesting now, as I don't believe we are going to get that yellow. So, yeah, it looks like we're going to stay green, as they're going to be racing for that 3rd position. But right now, I'll tell you what, Sparrow putting the pressure on Carey up front, trying to get back in that top position. But right now, Carey dropping to the bottom lane here, giving that outside lane up, but covers it off on the exit there. That's the important thing. You can run the bottom as long as you're clear on exit. If that car gets to your outside on exit, it's almost a done deal, in my opinion.
It really, that's the whole thing here. It's a little bit quicker. Ooh.
Looks like we're going to stay green, though, as they saved it. Looks like Matthew Dude in the 55 there, Brandon. Looks like he got a little bit of contact, I believe, from actually, no, he got into, I believe, the 16 of Matt Upbrook. Oh, no, for Upbrook getting into the side of Upbrook there. What a save, though, from Upbrook in that position, man. He really did a great job to not wreck that thing, but unfortunate for Upbrook because he was coming on through.
Well, the good news is that not a lot of damage on that 16. A little bit of a crinkle to the rear bumper on the left rear there, but still, it's probably going to hurt the tires more than anything at this point, and unfortunately gave up a lot of time to the lead pack now, as there's a huge separation from about the top 6 back to 7th place.
Definitely some interesting strategies to be played out here now, Brandon, with the way this competition yellow not coming out. With it being that second yellow of the race we got there, That really has thrown a definitely an interesting spiral into this strategy because the rest of these guys are going to have to pit at some point. But some of the drivers who pitted, can they save enough fuel? I don't think they can, but we'll have to see if they can.
Well, I'm just wondering what that magic number is with 50% fuel load that they can reach, and
Yeah, the 50% fuel load, it makes it up where it's just such a tough spot to know where you can go. Going 60 laps on a fuel tank here it's been plausible before, but there's the caution. Looks like caution out on the racetrack here as we're looking at the 21 here of Brandon Perry. Looks like him and Matthew Dude, maybe it's Matthew Dude in the 55. Heavy damage on pit road. That thing is a fire right now. Actually, wow, I've never seen a car smoke like that. Oh, and there goes the 21 on replay. There, as he gets into the inside wall there on the interior pit road. Good little bit of damage there for that 21 of Brandon Perry, and there's Matthew Dude. So multiple cars here on this incident is third or Nissan Central caution of this All-Star race, Brandon.
Yeah, looking at the 21 of Brandon Perry, newcomer to the league, has not had a very good couple races so far in his start with the league. Just wrong place, wrong time, and that time just a little bit of a mistake. I think I got the word that possibly had a black flag, may have been why he was coming into pit, and just locked him up, lost the rear of the car, and heavy contact with the inside wall.
It's so easy to do that in these stock cars. Lock the brakes up on entry to pit road, as you're seeing all the drivers now come to their pit stalls to get their 4 tires and fuel. As they're going to be happy drivers now to be able to get this and not have to do it under green, because you see the mistake there from Brandon. Well, it could have been one of these drivers here now in the pit stops that were fighting for the lead. So if you can take that risk of a green flag stop out, usually that makes you a little more confident as a driver.
I know from personal experience that I've thrown away what I felt were quite a few races that I had securely locked up just due to a slight mistake on green flag pit stops. It's like you said, you're going around here, upwards of 190 miles an hour and having to slow down to near highway speeds in a very short amount of time. And there's a lot of opportunity to make mistakes there, just missing brakes, losing the rear end, speeding especially. Sometimes a cop will give you a warning on the street when you get caught speeding, but NASCAR does not give you warnings. You're getting a ticket every time.
Yeah, they're not too lenient on that. They definitely are all about the safety. What was the 17 of Kel Seaman there? He's hitting pit road. It looks like maybe I think he had actually stayed out under. Oh no! So I think he came down, and I don't believe he took 4 tires. So he decided that was a bad idea. I probably need to come down and get tires actually, since everybody took them.
Yeah, if everybody takes them, you're kind of forced to. You can, there's all these strategies that you want to play, but if you're the only car on old tires, you're gonna get lapped pretty quickly. And now, not having the benefit of that competition caution to kind of save you, and that's really what you're hoping for to stay ahead of the leaders to get to that. You can't afford to fall that far behind, because it's just even coming in later and getting the tires during the possible green flag stop, which I'm not sure that they may even have to make at this point. It's not enough time to make up that ground you're going to lose.
Not enough time left for these drivers to make that ground up. You're definitely right about that, man. It's just one of those things that you got to make the right call at the right time, and you get burned sometimes. I mean, look at Kelsey. He was in that top positions of their top 3. Doesn't make the right call there. Now gives up all that track position. I mean, he's going to be looking to be back almost in the 18th, 17th, 18th position now. So he's got a lot of work to do in that 17, but we've seen him be fast. Can he get himself back up there? As right now, the top 4 right here played the strategy of, taking their tires earlier, and now our leader, Stephen Carey, is going to restart 5th on this restart. So kind of shook things up, and I think we're going to see a lot of lanes being used here with guys on different sets of tires?
Well, it's going to be about a 10 lap difference. I think the oldest tires in the field right now. I don't even know if Steven Racing in the two, his pit stop was on lap 19, but he only had an 8.1 second pit time. So I'm not sure if he's even taken his tires yet. But I'll tell you, if they get a caution here in the next 10 to 15 laps, and maybe Steven Racing or Justin Malarkey haven't taken their set, this may well turn out to be their race to win if they can just navigate traffic on the fresher tires.
Them new tires will be a huge difference, and with the track being the way it is, I think you'll be able to find grip around drivers here, as both lines are pretty close, with the outside still being dominant, but it's close enough to where I think the new tires would be a huge factor. As we'll see if that plays out for any of these drivers up front, as we got Michael Haru started from the 19th position, now up in the first place position with some strategy. Second's going to be Steven Racing. Third, Buddy Pitts. Fourth, Justin Malarkey is your top four, all on a different strategy. Let's see which strategy prevails, as the pace car will look to take the left-hand turn off the pit road this time in the restart zone for Michael Haru. Looking for the green flag. There it is, green flag in the air. Michael Haru, great start for himself in that 7 as he's off and away, clearing the rest of that pack.
Look at Buddy Pitts here, already making a run to the inside of Steven Racing. Everybody diving to the inside now, and Chris Sproul taking advantage up to 4th position. Justin Malarkey now going around the outside of Buddy Pitts here, looking to chase down Michael Haru, but right behind him, Chris Sproul. He wants the lead back, Zach.
Yeah, and he did a great job to position himself around Stephen Carey. So he's the first guy on the freshest set of tires, and you could definitely see the difference here as the 14 now up to the 3rd position as Buddy Pitts tries to hold off the 83 Stephen Carey.
And if you're playing a strategy where you're trying to stay out and not take tires for track position here, only having one more row of guys behind you that didn't take tires is not what you want to see, because they're going to get passed very quickly, and then the heat is all on you.
At the moment, Michael Haru hanging on to the lead, trying to hang on to what he can. Here comes Stephen Carey to the inside of Christopher Smarola. Oh, Haru in the wall, but they're wrecking up front. They're going to bring yeah, there it is. Caution is out. As I don't know, the iRacing did not bring it out at first. As we'll get a Abigail, because that was clearly a yellow there coming off of 4 for our 4th caution of the night, brought to you by Orly South Central. Looks like Haru got into that wall, and we'll have to go back here and look and see exactly what happened. Is man, the 83 there, Stephen Carey, getting a heavy hit out of this. You'll see right here, he's on the bottom lane fighting for that 3rd position, or the 3rd position starting. Look, there's Haru into the outside wall. 73 Malarkey, nowhere to go. Little tap from Smarole. There goes the 83 a carry around, and Anthony Gaudio also in the 3. So multiple cars up front. Really, the top 6 all involved in that caution there, Brendan.
Yeah, what looked like the most dominant cars in the race, every single one of them up front to get damage in this caution. But the 2 of Steven Racing had dropped back just enough. He was able to avoid that, come out of that with a completely clean race car. I think this may open the door for him to come down and take those tires, but really unfortunate for our leaders there. Just unfortunate. When a car gets into the wall like that, you are so committed, especially on the high lane there, to be full throttle out of the corner. And when something happens like that, there's just not enough time to react, especially if you're already side by side. You just don't have anywhere to go.
You know, thinking about it too, for this 2 Steve Racing, I think he's gonna wait. I think he waits this out, maybe another caution, because I think if he takes tires here, I don't think he's gonna be able to drive from the back to the front. I just don't think it's a big enough difference in the tires. So we'll have to see, as looks like the drivers are front 4 a little bit ahead of the pace car, so they'll be slowing down, let the pace car go by here. But I tell you what a wild Charlotte race we've seen so far, running the high line and a lot of crazy little incidents up there. And I mean, and it happens a lot. It's something kind of we see at Kansas, where chain reaction events happen in front of you, and it's just hard to get off that top line once you're committed to it.
You're carrying so much speed up against the wall there that when you have, you see guys start to get bottled up. Somebody maybe just scrapes the wall a little bit, gets checked up, it's that accordion effect, and you see it happening, but you've got so much speed carrying your car around the wall. Trying to put that much wheel into it to the left, it just does not want to turn. And like you said, we see that quite a bit at tracks where we do run the wall like that. And it's really frustrating as a driver to have something happen way ahead of you that you've seen coming, but just can't possibly avoid.
Yeah. It's like I needed a airplane to avoid that. That was the only way I was getting out of that track was the fly because it's just when you commit up there, you got to have commitment to run the top, and that's what makes it fast. And if you're not committed up there, then you're usually going pretty slow. So, man, stuff happens fast, and now our top three drivers all with damage of the 14 of Smerol, 3 of Gaudio, and the 7 of Haru as I think these drivers are going to elect to hold it out. I mean, it's the all-star race. Why pit now and give track position up? Might as you got the damage. I would stick it out here in the final 21 laps, see what you can do. You never know. One of these drivers could have just the perfect right damage to where it doesn't affect them too bad.
Yeah, I think, we talk about when the tires even out how beneficial just the track position is on the high lane there. But with the damage, considering how fresh a lot of these tires are, that's when you're going to be at the biggest disadvantage. Once they wear in and everybody gets more even on speed and everybody's going to be single file riding up against the wall, that damage is going to be next to non-existent for you. Now they're just going to try to see if they can get that. Maybe some of these guys that have cleaner cars, fresher, and maybe on the equal tires to them can get held up just a little bit, just enough that they're going to have to push maybe a little bit too hard to catch these guys at the front, and they'll be able to hold them off just by being in the way.
Dirty air will be a factor. I'll tell you that much. Coming down to the end here as they double file up. We're going to be coming to 19 to go in this all-star race when we take the green flag. Thank you, everybody, again for tuning in here tonight. Let's see which driver can take home the 50 iRacing dollars and get them some nice old content, man. I tell you what, there's some good old iRacing content out there. Plenty of it. I tell you that much. They never go dry on the content here on iRacing. I'll tell you that much. If you ever worried about someone not pumping out content on a game, it's not iRacing.com. It's definitely each quarter you're getting a big update and a lot of new content. So that driver here tonight is going to be able to use that $50 to get some of that beautiful iRacing content.
Yeah, you want to talk about an achievement in any game. If you have managed to get all of the cars and tracks here on iRacing, that's an achievement in itself because there's a lot to get.
Yeah, I've got the whole, NASCAR, I guess you could say, schedule. So most people do that. So that's a very common thing. But the whole thing is pretty interesting. Not many definitely have that, but the pace car is going to come in this time as we go 19 to go here at the All-Star race at the Charlotte Motor Speedway for the ARCA Evolution Series. Heading down to turn 1, side by side. Look at the 3 Anthony Gaudio trying to stick his nose down the outside of this 14. Can he pull him back here? I think he's going to have the outside line. It may change hands here in the lead as they race side by side off of 2. You're riding on board here with the 2 of Steve Racing because he goes around the outside of Michael Haru to take them.
Yeah, that clean car going to be able to pay off a little bit for Steven Racing here. Got the tires cooled down, but he's got to be quick. Once then things come back up to temp, going to be a little bit off the pace, but that damage is going to help even out that score. But just behind him now, Jeff Carson in the 81, looking to take advantage. Clean car, fresh tires, looking to charge toward the front.
Look at Jeff Carson go in the 81. Working his array around the 2 of Steven Racing. He's up to the 3rd position now, powering down the back straight. He's going to pull to the back bumper of Smerol. I think Smerol definitely feeling the effects of that damage there. As you can see, his 14 just not having the pace that he's wanted here tonight. As here goes Jeff Carson in the 81, looking to take 2nd position. Could tonight be his shot here at the All-Star race for the ARCA Evolution Series?
Well, it's looking pretty good right now. He's slowly reeling in our leader of Anthony Gaudio. I tell you, man, I'm excited if Jeff Carson's able to pull off this victory in the All-Star race. I'm excited to hear his interview and see how the race went for him, because not a lot of cars are clean out here. It's almost looking like a local hobby stock race, uh, fairground short track or something like that. A lot of beat up cars out here in Charlotte.
A lot of beat up cars. There definitely is. It took a toll line. That's the All-Star race, man. You always see guys go big or go home here tonight, and that's something you're going to see here in the final 16 laps here at Charlotte. And remember, also later tonight we got the Cup Series boys doing it at Bristol Motor Speedway, so it's got some action-packed mile and a half racing right now, and later we'll have some short track All-Star racing. So, man, what a night we have in store for you all here. Is look at there, Brian Fine now up to the top 5 position. He's consistent each and every week, quick. As I tell you what, Gaudio, he's got a friend, and I tell you what, if he doesn't start running that high line, that 81 is going to have this quickly. Is he's got a big head of steam down the back straightaway. Can he pull the slider off? He's going to run down to 3 and 4. He's going to slide up in front of this 3 here. Can the 3 cut back down low? Not going to have the run. Now lead over to the 81 of Jeff Carson.
Jeff Carson coming alive here late. Have to look at what these guys are running. Looks like the quickest car on the track that last time by was the 98 of Brian Fine, up to 5th place now. But slowly reeling in Zach Sandlin and Chris Smerol to take over 3rd, but then a good distance away for that 2nd and 1st position.
Well, man, I think we're seeing some late covers here in the final 15 laps of this race. Brian Fine starting to make his charge forward. Zach Sandlin trying to break his way to the top 3. We got a lot of drivers breaking their way up here into the stopping positions that were not likely spots for him early in this race.
Well, talk about guys making a charge back up. We talked about Cale Seaman earlier, that little miscue on pit road. He has moved himself back up to 8th now. He is going to be praying for a caution, as we've got coming now to 12 laps to go. To close that gap up, he is going to need to see that yellow. I just don't think there's enough time for that 17, but these guys up at the front now are dicing it up here going through the tri-oval.
Zach Sandlin still trying to take that 3rd position away from Smerol, and he doesn't do it. He may get split 3 wide as Brian Fine there looked for a second to the inside, but Sandlin just not getting it done there on the bottom. What he needs to do is, I thought he was going to try to pull the slider, but he just didn't send it off in there. It seems like he's trying to make the bottom work without doing the slider line, but personally, the slider line is going to be the way to pass Smerol. You're going to have to set him up with a big run entering the corner and just clear him and take that line away from him. Make him turn down under you and try to make him use that inside line.
Well, if you are running, these tracks that it seems like the high line really dominates, you can't be all that passive and patient. It helps to be patient, but eventually you are going to have to be aggressive. You're going to have to sail it into the corner, get a really good run, sail it into the corner, and pull off that slider. And that's going to be the way you're going to make the pass. Just trying to hang with the guy door to door going through the corner, it's not going to work out for you.
And with 10 to go, Smerol still hanging on, but can Sandlin slide up the racetrack in front of him? I don't think he's clear. No, and Smerol keeps it on the door of the 57 down the back straightaway. He's doing everything he can to hold up Zach Sandlin here in the final 10 laps. I tell you what, Jeff Carson got to the lead, but Anthony Gaudio did not let him get away. He's kept it within 2/10 up front here, as now you see Zach Sandlin did make the pass there at 3 and 4. He's up to 3rd. Great run for that 57.
Well, I think the biggest thing for the 3, Zach, is that the drag from the dirty air is less than the drag from the damage on his nose, and that's why he's able to keep up a lot of that speed. But I think if Jeff Carson is able to put a little bit more pace and kind of pull away, we'd see Anthony Gaudio drop back a little bit more quickly now. But Zach Sandlin, after making that pass on Chris Smerol, pulled out a gap here, looking to charge down that Anthony Gaudio. He turned about 2/10 quicker, or excuse me, 1/10 quicker, just over 1/10 quicker last time by. So I don't know if he's going to have the laps to do it, but he's got the pace right now.
Anthony Gaudio is definitely starting to get closer to this 81 here, with coming to 7 to go here. He's definitely getting a little bit of a connection issue up there in 81. He's blinking just a little bit, but it's Gaudio's not been there yet close enough to attack, as now the top 3 all head down into one with a good bit of separation between them with 7 to go. Looking for 50 iRacing dollars. Which driver will pull it off here tonight?
Well, it's looking like Jeff Carson in the 81, the strong contender to bring home that $50, but got some lap traffic ahead of him now. May come into play.
Oh, lap traffic could be a huge issue there as you're looking now at the 14 there in the 4th position. He's got Brian Fine in the 98, trying to do everything in his power to take that 4th position, with also Kel Seaman and Justin Malarkey bound behind there in 6th and 7th. So a lot of good little battles going on here in the final few laps of this race. But remember, this is go or go home. No points involved. This is trying to win it, and Carson is doing his best here. Coming to 5 to go this time. He's opening the gap up on the 3 Anthony Gaudio.
And what really helped Jeff Carson there is Brandon Perry on the high line. Just kind of checked up Anthony Gaudio a good bit going through 3 and 4.
With 5 to go here, all types of racing going on throughout this field. There you see the gap up front. Carson's definitely grown that gap to over a second now in that lead position to the 3 Anthony Gaudio. He's got 3rd back to Zach Sandlin, and he just wants to see this thing stay completely green because we got 2 green-white checkers in the bag. You never know how these races play out. 4 to go here for Jeff Carson.
What I've been noticing, Zach, Jeff Carson has been kind of almost late apexing the corners in 1 and 2, but running that middle lane in 3 and 4. Not quite up against the, above that top seam or right up against that top seam. Keeping his left sides on that middle seam there, and it's been really working out for him. I'm surprised by the amount of pace he's been able to get out of that line.
Oh, man, jumping on board here with Malarkey as they're coming to 3 to go. He is battling right now for that top 4 here as he's now got up to the 5th position with teammate Christopher Schmorl directly ahead. Can he crack a top 4 as he's already got into that top 5 here with 3 to go? Looks like that's going to be the battle here as actually 2nd starting to heat up too is Sandlin to the inside of Gaudio.
Now Sandlin pushing a little bit tight there, trying to run the inside. Now Gaudio going to be able to get a good run out of the corner and stretch out the gap a little bit, but Sandlin I think is going to have to wait and get right up on his bumper to the entry of the corner and sail it off in there. He's going to have to use that slider.
Gonna have to get himself in position here with 2 to go down the back straightaway. They're gonna be coming to the white flag here tonight. Can he get anything done for that 2nd position? Jeff Carson 1.8 seconds ahead of these 2nd place drivers as he comes out of 4, crosses the start finish line now to get that Sheffield Graphics white flag for one final time here tonight at the All-Star race for the ARCA Evolution Series. Jeff Carson, what a drive tonight in this 81 as he takes it around the bottom. No worries for him as he has plenty of gap. Can he just bring it back to the line to get his first win of the season here? And what a win it will be. Could this start the momentum for the rest of his season here in the 81? Off of 4, Jeff Carson is going to be your Sheffield Graphics race winner here tonight for the All-Star at Sharp.
Well, and they had a great battle for 2nd and 3rd. Zach Sandlin tried to give the bumper to the 3, didn't quite move him enough. So Anthony Gaudio able to bring it home in 2nd with that damaged race car. Zach Sandlin with a hard charge for 3rd, but Justin Malarkey was right on their bumper across the line.
What a great top 3 here tonight. As you see it, Jeff Carson, your Sheffield Graphics race winner here tonight from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. What a job for him in that 81 as the 3 Anthony Gaudio is going to bring it home in that 2nd position. Zach Sandlin in 3rd as you're going to see Jeff Carson here, a little bit of contact there from his buddy. And they're going to burn it down here on the front straightaway. Jeff Carson, tonight's winner here at the All-Star race for the ARCA Evolution Series. And as he burns it down the front straightaway here, we will take a quick break here, everybody, as we get our top 3 drivers here tonight from this All-Star event and see what their thoughts are heading into the 2nd half of this season. Hello, everybody. Welcome back as we got our post-race interviews here tonight from the ARCA Evolution Series as they took on the Charlotte Motor Speedway here tonight for their all-star event. And the top three tonight was spectacular as Zach Sandlin here, the 57, was able to bring home the third position. He'll be the first one up here in the booth. Let's see what his thoughts are on getting the top three here tonight at the all-star event. Hey, Zach, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, Ben?
Yes, sir, I do.
I tell you what, Zach, great run here tonight for yourself, man. Able to put yourself in that top three here, the All-Star race. No points on the line, but how big was this of a momentum shift for you tonight here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway?
Big time. I mean, it's been kind of a rough season for me. I've had a few races where I felt like I could have placed better, and I've either gotten caught up in a wreck or just not ran my best race that night. And to be able to come here and run a race like I did and place up this high and have a chance to kind of strike at that lead, I just, guys in front of me did a real good job fending me off and things like that is huge.
It was a great race. You did a great job of positioning yourself in there. Got the pass done on Chris Merle, able to take that top three away, man. In that 57, it was great to watch. We're heading really into the second half of the season here now, and we head back to Charlotte next week. So this is a good, to carry into that race for you next week. You're coming in here tonight tied for the 17th position in points. What do you think you can do to position yourself to get into those playoffs here in the final portion of this regular season?
Hopefully I can keep running races like I did tonight. Going back to this next week, I'll have a good feel for kind of what line to run, how the car's going to react, tires and fuel runs and things like that. So I'm pretty confident next week. But as far as going forward, I'm hoping that carry the same momentum and place a little bit better.
Well, buddy, I hope so here too, that you can carry that momentum with you and we can see you more often up here in the top three and see yourself get put in those playoffs here in the second half of this regular season. But congrats on third here tonight at the All-Star event. Before we let you go, Zach, anybody want to send a shout out to, man?
Yeah, I want to thank my wife for letting me do this. I work a lot, and being able to come home and do this is pretty awesome. The sponsor on the car, it's my good friend that has a fried pie shop. They gave me the permission to run their logos and stuff, so shout out to them for letting me do it. If you guys are ever in the Hot Springs, Arkansas area, go pick you something up. Got real good fried pies.
Awesome stuff, Zach. Well, man, you have a great night, and we will catch you next week in Charlotte.
Thank you, sir. Y'all too.
All right, that was Zach Sandlin there, your third place finisher here tonight at the All-Star race. Great run for him, looking to go into that second half of that regular season there and carry that momentum. Now we'll move on to our man in the 3-car. Had a great season so far. Entering tonight for Anthony Gaudio, really he's just trying to make up points as doesn't have the starts as many of the other drivers, but got that win to back himself up. So he's trying to break into those points here in the final session. Let's see what he has to say about tonight's great run for him. Hey, Anthony, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, man?
I'm here.
Well, I tell you what, man, another great run. And I tell you what, how did you pull off bringing the 3 home in second tonight? I mean, I tell you what, that front end definitely not looking the greatest there at the end, but you were able to really get a hold of it there and get the most out of it.
Yeah, 100%. That front end damage is what took that potential win away. But I got to say, hats off to my team owner, Jeff Carson, for his first W. That's awesome for him. We got a 1-2 finish for the team, which is great. I mean, it's not a points race, but hey, we're up front. And yeah, I mean, I'm very lucky that I got second. Zach was hauling booty, and yeah.
Yeah, it definitely was looking to hamper you there at the end, but Jeff got by you like there and say your teammate, and like you said, a great win for him. Just a heck of a race for him to drive up through there, and really once he got by, you kind of kept with him, but then it seemed like you tried to get everything you could, and then it just seemed like maybe the tires from there had met their match, and you kind of slipped back. So with tonight being kind of top, the top being dominant,
100%.
was it easy to hold him off, or was it, do you think if it was bottom dominant, do you think you'd been able to hold him off as easy?
I mean, I don't know. He had a fast car tonight. So did Chris. I mean, there was a bunch of fast cars up front. I mean, it was just a matter of who can hang on. It's just at the beginning of the laps, the inside was a little bit faster, but 2-3 laps, it was just you going up high, and that was it. But I don't think the inside line would have had a chance, even if it was there.
Yeah, it definitely didn't like it had much of a shot tonight. But I tell you what, man, you did a great job with that damage number 3 here to bring that thing back home in second here. Like you said, bring it home in second. But the big thing is the team win 1-2 there. That is a great way for y'all to go into the second half of the season and maybe build some more momentum, even for the team there. As you know, you got a lot of momentum on your side. Before we let you go, though, Anthony, before we head off to Charlotte again next week, anybody want to send this out to, man?
Yeah, just my family. I'm blessed. But thanks for having me. You guys got a good thing going. I love it. And hopefully to be here next season.
Well, Anthony, I tell you what, buddy, we love you guys out on the track, and we couldn't do it without y'all. So thank you very much, and we'll catch you next week as we come back to Charlotte here, man. So maybe you can keep that nose clean. Maybe we'll see you in Victory Lane.
10-4, bud. Have a good one.
You too, man. All right, that was Anthony Gaudio and that number 3 machine. What a race car driver that man is. He's one heck of a driver. He was able to bring home second tonight, but his teammate and team owner of Jeff Carson able to bring home the victory. Man, this is going to be special. I can't wait to hear what Jeff Carson has to say about bringing home this victory. I mean, man, what a turnaround for him. I mean, he does enter the points tonight in the 4th position, so that's great, but no top 5. So this all-star race win, just, man, what a turnaround for him to head off into the second half of the season. Let's hear what he has to say about this victory. Hey, Jeff, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, man?
I got you, man.
Well, I tell you what, Jeff, what a drive tonight for yourself here in the all-star event here. Man, just kind of describe to us how you were able to pull it off, man. You kind of just drove on up through there and got to the lead there past your teammate, Anthony. And from there, he kind of stuck with you. But from there, man, you just started to put the afterburners on at the end of the race and able to bring home the victory tonight, man. How does that feel?
Man, it feels great to get first one. I was hoping it would be a points race, but when I get my first win, but I'll take the win in the all-star race. Basically, that last restart, I was just saving a little bit of tires, and I knew I had a bunch of wrecked cars in front of me that I had to get around quickly, so I didn't lose the pack. And from there, I just cruised on through.
Yeah, you definitely did, man. I tell you, you had a very clean car when there was not a lot of clean cars out there tonight. So you did a great job to keep the 81 nice and pristine out there. And man, what a drive, though. I gotta say, like you said, you wish it would have been a points paying race. But at the end of the day, we do head back to Charlotte next week. Do you think you can carry this momentum of this race into there? Because you still are 4th in the points, had a great season so far, but like you said, not the win to go along with the season so far. So do you think you could maybe carry that momentum into next week?
I am hoping I get to carry that momentum in. What I learned tonight's race, hopefully I can carry it over to next week's points race and get a win there.
It would be a great sight to see, man. I tell you what a great job here tonight also to win the All-Star event. I mean, it's a special race, like you said, for no points, but all bragging rights. And you also got 50 iRacing dollars there. So you got any iRacing content in mind that you're going to possibly use that on?
Anything that comes out new. I pretty much own everything, so I just use it for sessions and for my team for practice sessions and stuff, and work on getting the team all up in the top of the points and getting the championship.
Hey, man, well, a great team, man, yourself are, Jeff. I tell you what, a great win here tonight. It was fun to watch you drive on up through there, man, and make those great passes to take the lead, especially with the top being so dominant. You really had to work for that, even with the better tire wear there, as you really saved your tires very well. So congrats on the victory here tonight. Before we let you go, though, and celebrate this thing, anybody want to send a shout to, Jeff?
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to the team. Great bunch of guys. Give a shout out to the league. They're also, and the admins, they're a great bunch of guys, a great league to run in, and I wouldn't run in any other league.
Well, I tell you what, Jeff, great win here tonight, man. Hopefully you can carry that momentum into next week in Charlotte. We'll see if you can go, they say back to back, man. That would be great to see. So you have a great night, and we'll catch you next week in Charlotte.
All right, thank you. Hopefully I'm right here with you next week.
That would be a great sight to see, man. You have a great night.
All right, you too.
All right, everybody. That was Jeff Carson, your Sheffield Graphics race winner, and that is tonight's interviews here at the ARCA Evolution Series for their All-Star event here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. All right, looks like that was our interview. So let's go ahead and head off into our post-race segment of tonight's race here at Charlotte. Man, we got another All-Star race coming up after this, so it's been fantastic to see this one so far. But let's go ahead and pull them race results up as there you see it. Jeff Carson bringing home that Sheffield Graphics race-winning award here tonight at the All-Star event, and 50 iRacing credits to his name. So congrats to Jeff Carson on that, as a great prize for him. And like you said, going to use it on the team. That was the key words I heard from that. Going to use it on team sessions. What a guy there. Second's going to go to teammate Anthony Gardio, so the 1-2 there for them. Third is going to go to Zach Sandlin. Fourth is going to be Justin Malarkey. Fifth, Christopher Smerroll. Sixth going to go to Kel Seaman. Seventh is Brian Fine. Eighth, Matt Upbrook. Ninth is going to be Richard Gonzalez. 10th is going to go to Harold Rothery. 11th is Ada James Wright. 12th is Carl Thompson. 12th, Jake Ishea. 14th, Josh Holmes. 15th is going to go to Brandon Perry. 16th, Steven Rasick. 17th is Michael Haru. 18th is Buddy Pitts. 19th, Stephen Carey. 20th, Bob Fitzpatrick Sr. 21st, Matthew Dude. And right out your field in the 22nd position here tonight at the All-Star event is Kevin Dowd in the 23. As our race results here tonight from Charlotte. What a all-star race we had here. We'll be back here next week in the ARCA cars. So can we see a repeat performance from Jeff Carson? We will have to see. But don't miss tonight. Later on at 9:20, we have the Cup cars at the Bristol Motor Speedway for their all-star race. And I tell you what, that is going to be some fiery racing there. I can't wait to watch the Bristol High Banks as the last great Coliseum as we know it. These drivers are going to be out there having definitely some gladiator fights tonight out there on the racetrack. It should be one heck of a race. Make sure not to miss that. But Brandon, before we head off here and send it up to Robert to close out tonight's broadcast, what are the thoughts on this all-star race here tonight, and what do you expect when we go into Bristol here later?
Well, first, congratulations to Jeff Carson on his first victory. Like you said, not a points race, but if I'm not mistaken, didn't Dale Jr. win his first race in the All-Star race?
I believe so.
Might be a sign of things to come for Jeff Carson going forward here, but talk about going to Charlotte next week. Hopefully these guys are going to use this as a learning experience, try to figure out another line to run to make some passes in the high line. They got a week of team practice to try to figure something out. But as far as Bristol goes, I think we're going to see some bent up race cars, some bent up feelings that Bristol always produces, especially when there's no points on the line, only $50. So it's going to be a great race to watch, so do not miss that.
Oh, I tell you what, there's going to be huge bragging rights on the line there, man. It's going to be huge to see. And like you said, another $50 to that winner. So another great bit of content here on iRacing, and credits being awarded to these drivers here for putting on one heck of a show here. But, man, what a race we had here at Charlotte. Like I said, don't miss Bristol later. But let's send it up to Robert Moyer Jr., our producer here, to close out tonight's broadcast before we head off to Bristol.
All right. Thank you, everybody out there, for tuning in, listening to us here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. But like the gentleman said, within the hour, we will be at Bristol. We got to pack up and head over to Tennessee quick to go to the Bristol. Yeah, we're going to go to Bristol. I don't know what Bristol is. Somewhere in Tennessee, apparently. We're going to go to Bristol and see their all-star race in the Cup Series here with RSR Cup Series. So that will be live at 9:20 here tonight, as we always have our double header here with these gentlemen. So hopefully everybody comes back around, watches tonight's broadcast here tonight with them guys. But until then, we're going to pack up our stuff and catch you within the hour. Take care. God bless everybody. We love you all. Peace out.
See y'all in a bit.
Yes.